Hello, beautiful Taurians. These are going to be your messages. And even though it is being released in the month of July, these are really not date specific. So they may connect with you in July. They may connect with you in August. They may have connected with you in June. So just kind of see where you're at. If these messages don't make sense to you right now, as you're listening to it right now, do yourself a favor and listen to it 3 weeks or a month from now and see if you connect with any of it then. All right, so you're my second sign, and for those of you who know that I'm a Taurus, it's particularly exciting for me because these are also messages for me. And just like with the last sign that I did for Gemini, I received a stone, a healing stone, which is something that's very unusual for me to receive in terms of messages. Nonetheless, I was given one for us Taurians as well, and it's the carnelian, which is kind of an orangey stone. So I'm just looking at what it represents. It represents the base chakra and the sacral chakra. So it's about stability, it's about survival, and it's about trust, which is very interesting because I feel a lot of what this is going to be talked about is about stability. If it's not financial, then it's about how stable you feel within you. And if I was to say that you are at a threshold of a new beginning, many of you will understand what that means. As a matter of fact, I feel many of you have just undergone, particularly in the month of June, some kind of major transformation. I know I have. I have experienced something that was literally out of this effing world in the most incredible way. Perhaps I'll make a video about this. So I have gone through a massive transformative experience, but I also know many of you have as well, and they're showing me 65% of you or so, 65 to 75% of you have experienced something like this that's very transformative, either in the month of May or June. So, and it's also our months. I'm actually born at the end of April. So whether it's at the end of April, May, or June, many of you would have experienced something quite transformational. So the carnelian is a lot about stability. It stimulates creativity, courage, promotes positive choices, etc. So I would encourage you to look up the stone carnelian. You will get additional messages just by reading about the stone and its healing properties. And you might also feel guided or be inclined to get the stone so you can have it near you or around you or in your pocket. And I feel the stone is very symbolic of, it's interesting because I want to say the word maturity, and I don't know if that's actually part of that, but why maturity? Stability, maturity. Stability often comes with maturity. Thank you. And stability often comes with having had a lot of experience. So there's a message in there which I don't feel I'm able to articulate quite nicely, but carnelian is also, the stone carnelian is a sign of maturity. And and also courage. Courage also comes with maturity. Maturity comes with courage. I'm going to have to think about that. So I would invite you to, again, look up at the stone properties. Get yourself the stone to just kind of remind you that you are courageous. And it is symbolic of, it has a fire element in it. It's symbolic of stability. And I don't know about you, but we all need little bit of encouragement sometimes, and feeling a little bit more stability, particularly if you have gone through some major transformative experience. Because anytime we go through a transformative experience, it shifts our perception, which then shifts our potential. I mean, our potential is unlimited. Our potential is only limited by what we feel and what we think, which is based on our perceptions, which is based on our experiences or our truth. So if you have undergone any kind of transformative event or transformative time, there is no doubt in my mind that it would have shifted, at least on some level, the level of perception, not only in terms of who you are, but life itself. I also saw, this was actually quite interesting, because when I was connecting with our energy of Taurus, I saw us climbing the ladder, and it was very exciting for me to see that, and I actually felt this excitement in my heart. So what I do want to say, sorry, I'm just going to turn on my timer because I have gazillion emails, or not emails, videos to do, and I want to make sure that I get them all done for you in time. So when I saw you climbing the ladder, I was very excited, because what it signifies to me is that either A, you are in the process of climbing the proverbial ladder, meaning either at work, in your creative endeavor. There's very much I have a king of coins that's looking at me, and it's kind of sort of what this energy is representing. And I feel a lot of this will be for many of you in terms of your career, your passion, overall level of stability. So climbing the ladder to me means you are moving up. You might be getting a promotion in your work. You might be changing your careers. You might be changing your jobs as a result of your transformation. Now, for some of you, this is something that you are actively pursuing. For others of you, this is something where life gently pushes you to do that. So, like I said, about 70% of you will resonate with this message, if not in the month of July. Then I can pretty much guarantee you at the end of the year, many of you will go through some significant changes. Now, when I say there will changes, I don't want you to feel alarmed, because all these changes that are being shown to me, they're all positive changes. Now, changes are funny, and they're funny because, change indicates, well, movement. Sometimes when things are changing, we don't necessarily know where we're going. And for our ego self, that can be very frightening. And when that happens, we feel unstable. And that's why I feel the stone of carnelian is being given to us as not only symbolically, but also as a tool to use to remind us that life will always take care of you. Now, I know some of you are saying that's a whole bunch of BS. It's a matter of perspective. When we don't struggle with trying to control everything in life, and we let go of the reins and allow life to gently sometimes push us, sometimes hard, in a certain direction, always remember, the universe has a lot more awareness of our path than we do. And the one thing that I was what's the word I want to use, please? That I was made aware of, thank you, last week, was that our current level of awareness dictates our experiences. So what we know is how we create. So when life pushes us forward and we don't know where we're going, that can be very scary, because it's based on something we have no awareness of. Anyway, I think you guys know what I'm trying to say here. So many of you will be climbing the ladder, whether it is your choice or the universe makes this choice for you. Nonetheless, that symbolizes the need to let go of some old ways or old ways of doing things. Old jobs, old ways of expressing your individuality, old attachments, anything that no longer serves you. There is an indication that we are moving on to new pastures, so to speak. Is there anything else? Actually, when I saw the climbing ladder, I actually wrote this because I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget to say this, and I wrote a smiley face, because even though some of you are being or will be pushed towards this climbing of a ladder, there was a smile with it. There was an indication that it's all good. It's all good. All right. The first card that I want to share with you is the whale. I absolutely freaking love whales. There's something so graceful about these giants. There's depth to these creatures. They live deep, deep underwater. Water symbolizes emotion. So what this message says to me, to you, is this: trust yourself. Trust yourself that you will know what to do when you are presented with whatever it is that will come into your life. Trust that you have the knowledge, even though you may not have it in your consciousness. When you are presented with it, you have the ability to be able to discern it and to move with it in the way that will be most appropriate to you. This could be, can I give them an example, please? Let's say you are presented with an opportunity, and this opportunity seems to come to you out of nowhere. And this opportunity may present to you moving up the ladder, but it may mean that you have to move. And that may pose, well, your mind may go, oh my God, what does this mean? That may pose some challenges, because it means, well, if you have to move, then you have to change. But what if it doesn't work out? Then, the ego does its own thing. And obviously always check, with your intuition, and do check with your mind. Try to use both your intuition and your logic. But trust that whatever it is, trust that you will be able to handle it. So if you are presented with something huge, with some kind of surprise, even something comes to you out of nowhere and you're like, oh my God, can I do this? And if this opportunity means that you have to let something go, perhaps something that has been familiar and safe, but something is telling you it's worth a try, trust that you have the ability to be able to handle whatever it is in the way that will absolutely serve you and sustain you long term. So the message here with this whale is trust yourself, trust your abilities, and trust yourself. And I know I'm talking to many of you who are healers. So for many of you, this will be an opportunity that will present itself to you. Perhaps you will be presented with an idea to move on your own, to do your own healing work. Perhaps to completely shift your careers and go from, an office job, a very stable office job, to something that is more aligned with your spiritual quest, whatever the healing, whatever that means to you. Trust. It's hugely important. Now, it's not easy to trust when we don't have all the pieces in front of us. That's why trust is so important, right? However, many of you have undergone major shift of perception through major transformation. And if you haven't undergone that yet, you will be going through it either right now or very shortly, which leads me to my next card, the hangman. So the hangman is a feeling of being stuck. You may feel stuck in not knowing what to do. You may be stuck in your current job. You may be stuck. You just may be stuck. You feel like something is missing and you're stuck. What I want to say here is this. If you do feel stuck in any area, and I feel this is very, very temporary, take this stuckness as an opportunity to see things from a different perspective. In other words, if you were to observe yourself being stuck, and if you observed yourself from a distance on a movie screen, what would you observe about yourself that you are not able to see because you're in it? And it's a lot more difficult to have that perspective where we are in the midst of something. We're emotionally charged, we're emotionally engaged. But when we distance ourselves from it and we're able to see it without the attachment of our emotions, we can see things often much, much, much more clearly. It's like the view of an eagle that sees from high above. You can see so much more and so much wider. Your perspective widens when you change your point of view. So any kind of stuckness, and again, I want to say this is temporary. Use this as a time to change your perspective, shift your perspective, but also to help you realize what it is that you really need. What do I mean by this? Let's say you're in the midst of changing a job and you're scared, you don't know what to do. Let's say your job is ending and you don't know what you want, and oh my God, you're stuck, what am I going to do? Ask yourself, what do I need right now? Chances are one of the first things you're going to say is, well, I need to feel safe and secure. Okay. Now, we all know that money brings safety and stability, but physical safety and stability is often associated with how safe we feel inside. Now, don't get me wrong. If you are going through a change, sometimes you can feel safe, but going through a change make you feel slightly off balance, and that's okay. There are moments in our life where we feel that, and that's perfectly okay. But as long as your core is solid, and as long as your own safety and security within you is solid, even though you're going through some shift and changes, you'll be able to bounce back pretty quickly, and you will be able to handle your changes or challenges that much easier. The next card you have is the Queen of Swords. What does this mean for you? It may mean that you may not feel in control of your thoughts. Again, I feel this is very temporary. And I keep stressing this. I feel it has a lot to do with the recent changes you have gone through. If that's the case, please take the time to take care of your emotional needs, either through meditation, through contemplation. This feels to me like being mentally a little bit all over the place, but it doesn't feel the same as the King of Swords in reverse. It doesn't feel that what's the word I want to say, that it doesn't feel that oppressed. It's not even oppressed, it's not the right word. It doesn't feel that what's the word I want to use, please? It doesn't feel that stagnant. This is much less so. The Queen is a much less, there's a lot less fear, let's put it that way, with this Queen of Swords in reverse. So though there may be some mental instability, I do want to say it's very temporary. The month of August is being shown to me, and it's being encircled. And I feel that by the time August comes, you will understand what this means for you. Not only that, you will have come full circle, or you will have come to some sort of a completion, either a circumstantial completion, meaning a circumstance will end and a new one will begin, or a set of circumstances, or a new you, a brand new you will begin to emerge. The Star in reverse just shows me, again, temporary lack of clarity. That's what I get by this card. To me, the Star represents emotional stability, balance, hope, renewed hope. It's still a star. Even though it's in reverse, it's still a star. It's still a very good message. But you may just feel a little bit off. Why? Well, healing, crisis, and purging. That's the reason why. You're going through changes that will eventually that's not how I want to say it. You're going through changes in order to arrive at a new level of stability. Not only physical stability, but most importantly, mental, emotional, and spiritual stability. And when we feel solid inside, when we feel stable, overall, I don't mean just pockets, overall, when we feel in harmony within, any challenges that life throws our way, we are able to handle it much better, because life is still going to throw us curves. That's why we're here. So if you are feeling a little bit off, if you are feeling slightly stuck even because of the recent changes that you have gone through, or changes you are currently experiencing, particularly transformational changes. I mean, you have the butterfly. The butterfly is the same as death. It is a freaking transformation. And if you're a Taurus, and if you're a Taurus like me and the many Tauruses I talk to every single day, you have been going through transformation, and that's a good thing. By the end of this year, I feel like many of you will feel reborn. And that is not a small statement for me to make. It is, I want to say the word revelation. I want to say the word eureka. Eureka. the symbol of Ace of Cups is being shown to me, which to me it's a symbol of emotional clarity, emotional renewal. And that means many of us have been going through like a wash. Imagine yourself being in a washing machine. Probably not very comfortable. Surely it'll give you a headache. Incidentally, if you have been getting a headache, it's a lot of it, by the way, drink more water, number one, but a lot of it will be due to the constant worry or constant overthinking, which seems to be the theme lately. In any case, listen to this again, and if you were to remember anything, is that you are moving in a transformative way to a brand new beginning that for many of you is symbolized by moving up the ladder. Whether it is you are upgrading at your job, you are moving to a new job, you are getting a promotion, you are upgrading to a new relationship, your relationship is upgrading to a new status. There is a massive shift and upgrade that is awaiting many of you. Like, I mean, 70%, that's a lot of you. That is way more than half. So if there's anything that you hear from this, hear that. So whatever you're going through right now, whatever little stagnating moments or whatever stuckness, remember it's temporary. It is temporary. And some of you have been going through it for 4 months already. By the end of August, there is a culmination and a brand new beginning. So that's what I want you to hear. It's all brilliant. I want to leave that with you. I wish you best of luck. Again, I'm going to say what I said. I'm going to say what I said last time because they're reminding me to. You don't need luck. All you need is courage, or a little bit more courage. And remember, trust yourself. You have what it takes. Spirit is always on your side. So listen. Thank you so much for giving me your time and your energy. If you would like me to help you with your own life, whatever is going on, I would be more than honored to do that. And that information is down below in the more info section. I wish you a wonderful month of July and the next few months. I wish you best of luck, although you don't need luck, you need more courage. And I look forward to seeing you again. Take care and talk to you soon.